You know, it's funny. Most of us almost never think about the massive, complex world of pipes hidden right under our feet. But that unseen network, it is constantly working. So today, we're going to peel back the layers and explore the secret life of your home's plumbing, using insights from the professionals who really know what's going on down there.
Okay, think about this. Have you ever heard a weird noise in the middle of the night? A random gurgle from the sink, maybe a faint drip you can't quite place, or a pipe that just groans when you turn on the hot water. It's so easy to just write those off as house sounds, right? But what if they're actually messages? What if your home is trying to tell you something really important?
I bet some of these sound familiar. That gurgling toilet when you flush a totally different sink. That sudden, shocking blast of cold water right in the middle of a nice hot shower. Or how about that mysterious damp spot in the yard that just never, ever dries out? A weird smell coming from a drain, or that brownish stain that just appeared on the ceiling. These are not just random quirks your house has. Nope, they are clues.
All right, Section 1, Signs of a Secret Struggle. We're going to look at these little annoyances a different way. They're not just quirks, they're actual symptoms of a hidden battle happening deep inside your home's infrastructure.
See, the thing is, your home's plumbing isn't just some static, dead collection of pipes. It's a dynamic system, constantly managing huge amounts of pressure, wild temperature swings, and all the waste we produce. Every single day, it is working hard. And when it gets stressed out, these little signs are its way of sending out an SOS.
Okay, on to Section 2, your home's hidden network. To really get what's going on, we need to peel back the layers. We'll start with the part you see every day and go deeper and deeper into the system that connects your home to the outside world.
So let's start simple. It all begins right here. You turn a handle, and fresh, clean water flows out. This is the part of the system we all know and see every day, powered by supply lines that are pushing pressurized water into your home. But right behind that faucet, hidden just under the drywall, that's where the first secret layer is. It's a whole web of those supply lines running alongside the drain lines that use good old gravity to carry all the wastewater away.
And those pipes, they don't just stop in the walls. They dive down and connect to an even more complex network that's running right under your feet. It's like a massive circulatory system for your entire house, totally out of sight. And then finally, all of those smaller pipes, kind of like veins and arteries, they all come together and lead to the big ones, the main water and sewer lines. This is the critical link connecting your home's entire intricate system to the city grid. It's just a massive, hidden piece of infrastructure.
Which brings us to Section 3, the battle under your feet. Now that we can picture this network, let's talk about what it's up against, because there's a constant war being waged on your pipes, and believe it or not, the enemy is often nature itself. We'll even use the specific challenges of a place like Bowie, Maryland, to see how this plays out in the real world.
So check this out. This is kind of wild. The very ground your house is built on can be its worst enemy. In a place like Bowie, you've got this clay-heavy soil that acts like a giant sponge. When it gets wet, it expands, squeezing the pipes with incredible force. But then, in the dry season, it shrinks and contracts, which makes the pipes shift and settle. This constant back-and-forth movement puts huge stress on the joints and can lead to a really messy, really expensive break in your main line. And it's not just the soil, you've got the trees. To a tree root, a sewer line with even a tiny hairline crack is basically an all-you-can-drink buffet. Those roots are relentless. They'll force their way into the smallest opening, and once they're inside, they grow and expand until they create a massive blockage. We're not just talking a smelly backup in the basement, we're talking about a repair that can cost thousands and thousands of dollars. But wait, there's more. The assault on your pipes is coming from all sides. In places with real seasons, like Maryland, you've got the freeze-thaw cycle that can literally crack pipes open. In older homes, which are super common in that area, you've got old cast iron drains that are silently rusting away from the inside out. And get this? Even your water can be the enemy. Hard water minerals build up over time, corroding pipes and basically choking the life right out of your water heater.
So, with all these invisible enemies, how do you even begin to fight back? Well, that brings us to Section 4, the professional's X-ray vision. This is where real expertise comes in and makes the invisible visible.
You know, when you call a pro, it's not just some guy showing up with a wrench. It's a system. It starts with dispatching a technician who knows the local houses and probably has the right parts already on the truck. Then they diagnose the root cause, not just the symptom, and give you a clear, upfront quote so there are no surprises. Finally, they fix it to code, they test it, and they make absolutely sure the problem is solved for good.
And this right here is a perfect example of that deep expertise. It's not just about patching leaks, it's about material science. A pro knows exactly when to use modern, flexible PEX piping, which is awesome against freezing, versus when to stick with traditional, durable copper. Using the right material for your home-specific situation can stop the same problem from ever happening again.
And really, at the heart of all of this is a dedication to doing things by the book. As it says here, licensed plumbers apply these official standards to every single job. And that's because building codes aren't just a bunch of red tape. They're basically a blueprint for safety and for making things last. They ensure the job isn't just done, it's done right. Okay, final section, Section 5, listening to your home. Let's bring all this info back to you. Think of this as your guide to understanding the signs, so you can be a more informed guardian of your own home. It's all about learning to listen. So think of this as your official home-to-human translator. You see water stain? That points to a leaking pipe right above it. You hear that gurgling toilet? It's basically screaming that there's a blockage in a drain or in the vent pipe. That's the pipe that lets air into the system so your drains actually flow. Water bill suddenly shoots through the roof? That's a classic sign of a hidden leak. Low water pressure? Could be corroded old pipes. And that rumbling sound from your water heater? That's sediment buildup, literally boiling inside and just destroying its efficiency.
Look, the big takeaway here is this. None of these huge problems happen overnight. They all start small. And by paying attention to these early warning signs, the little gurgles, the drips, the rumbles, you can often stop a small issue before it turns into a catastrophic home-destroying nightmare.
You know, every single day, that hidden world under your home is working in total silence to give you comfort and convenience. But nothing lasts forever. So the real question is, after everything we've talked about today, are you prepared to hear it when it finally decides to speak up?